On Racing Post Novice Chase, and on paper it has the makings of an absolute belter. Lorena heading the market ahead of Fakir Duderi and Notebook, who's certainly not without his supporters here. Kate Harrington alongside me. Kate, we're obviously really relishing this prospect, and we've just been looking at them in the parade ring for the last couple of minutes. The one thing that we look guaranteed here, despite a small field, is a really strong pace. We've got Fakir Duderi, who's been going forward over fences so far and jumping flamboyantly. Notebook the same, and Jingle, it seems to be the only way he can run as well. What's going to happen on the run to that first fence, do you think?
We could even see here as they're walking around at the start, Fakir Duderi's getting a bit jig-joggy, and there definitely is going to be a lot of pace on Gary. And you know, I'd say whatever wins this race here today, they're going to be definitely going to the top of the market for the Arkle in Cheltenham.
It's a bit of a quandary for a jockey, isn't it? You obviously know that a particular way of racing probably suits your horse best, and you want to, I suppose, use that to your advantage. But at the same time, if there's others in there thinking the same, the last thing you want is to compromise both, or in this case maybe all three of your chances.
Yeah, exactly, and cut each other's throats, you know. Definitely not the one thing to do, but you know, I'm really excited to see Fakir Duderi, because from his run in the Drimore the last day, the way he jumps his fence is absolutely phenomenal, and I think he really is an out-and-out 2-mile chaser. I know we've had Duvan in more recent years, but this horse reminds me a little bit of, like, I think he could be anything. The way he just makes ground over the top of his fences, like, he reminds me a little bit of Sprinter Sacre, the way he jumps and gallops, and I think he's a really, really exciting prospect.
High praise indeed. It's one of the races of the day here at Leopardstown, or indeed anywhere today. The Racing Post Novice Chase, with Lorena the 6-5 favourite. Late support for Fakir Duderi into 11-8 now. Notebook 13-2. 20-1 Royal Rendezvous, who looks like he's going to sit out the back, and Jingle at 28-1, who certainly won't be doing anything like that. So the horse is edging toward the tape. The Taoiseach Leo Varadkar amongst the crowd here at Leopardstown today. I wonder who he's backed. Good luck to anybody who's had a bet as we enjoy our feature event with Jerry Hammond.
White flag, they're off, and the big one of the day, the Racing Post Novice Chase, Grade 1 over 2 miles and a furlong and 11 fences, and vying for the lead. Notebook, Fakir Duderi and Jingle makes 3 in line as they clear the first fence, being followed by Lorena, who just pushed her way over it in 4th place and is tracked by her stable companion Royal Rendezvous, as Jingle is taken to the front by Adrian Heskin and go on to lead 2 lengths. Notebook and Rachel Blackmore. In 3rd place is Fakir Duderi and Mark Walsh, who are followed by Lorena and Paul Townend, and the back marker Royal Rendezvous and Danny Mullins. Racing away to fences 2 and 3. Going along in front is Jingle, Notebook 2nd, and then Fakir Duderi, the recent Grade 1 Drinmore winner, who's tracked by market rival Lorena, and on the outside Royal Rendezvous. Making their way between fences 2 and 3, Jingle on the outside of Notebook, followed by Fakir Duderi, and at the back of the field the stable companions Royal Rendezvous, and Lorena is now shuffled back to be last of the 5. A bit of a run before they reach the 4th. First of the fences down the far side, and it's Jingle opening up a 3 to 4 length advantage over Notebook, a couple of lengths in front of a clear 3rd Fakir Duderi, and then Royal Rendezvous and Lorena heading down the far side to the 10 furlong point, and the next fence, which will be their 4th, and it's Jingle opening up a 6 length lead over Notebook. 2nd and 3rd is Fakir Duderi, and Lorena, who has been sketchy at a few opening fences, is preceded by Royal Rendezvous as they race to the next fence down the far side, number 5, at Ballpark, the halfway stage. And Jingle is going along merrily in front of Notebook, who's followed by Fakir Duderi, Royal Rendezvous and Lorena. Heading towards the first of the ditches, first of 2 ditches, as they approach the one right across from the stands at the 7 furlong point. And it's Jingle out in front over the next from Notebook, Fakir Du Dairy, Royal Rendezvous and Lorena. Racing now to the next fence on the far side of the track, which is about 3/4 of a mile from the finish, and the Racing Post Novice Chase. Jingle steadied into it, Notebook away from it in second, and a mistake by Lorena at the back, and pushed along by Paul Townend for a few strides thereafter. Heading now to the last fence down the far side. This will be 4 from home. Jingle from Notebook and Fakir Du Dairy, Royal Rendezvous and Lorena. And they're now a bit spaced out, coming off the back straight with 3 fences left to jump. Approaching the last open ditch, and it's Jingle with a greatly reduced advantage as Notebook has closed right up. 2 lengths back to Fakir Du Dairy and Royal Rendezvous, and a break of 4 lengths to Lorena, the back marker of the 5. Racing towards the second last, Jingle almost joined on the inside by Notebook. Royal Rendezvous has taken 3rd spot off of Fakir Du Dairy, 5-6 lengths to Lorena. As they come to the second last, and Notebook landed with the lead. Fakir Du Dairy on the inside has quickly gone in pursuit, then Royal Rendezvous, and Jingle has dropped out tamely. Lorena is beaten as they run the home turn. 1 fence left to jump in the Racing Post Novice Chase, and it's Notebook and Rachel Blackmore into the straight from Fakir Du Dairy, and Mark Walsh gone second, and he's just recovering his right arm, and then Royal Rendezvous and Danny Mullins, but Notebook is out in front, coming down to the final fence, over the last like a natural. Fakir Du Dairy in second and trying to bridge the gap inside the final 200 yards. It's Notebook from Fakir Du Dairy as they run up towards the finish, but Notebook will progress to the next level over fences. This day belongs to Rachel Blackmore and Henrietta Brahman. The second is Fakir Du Dairy, who tried his heart out behind the Racing Post winner of 2019, Notebook. Royal Rendezvous in 3rd.
Yes, what a fascinating race that was to watch. Lorena, of course, has bombed out completely, but Notebook for Henrietta Brahman and Rachel Blackmore, they carry off the 2 main prizes on day 1 of the festival here at Leopardstown. And Kate, he's such a huge slab of a horse, isn't he? Dwarf Fakir Du Dairy there as the pair of them came up the straight, but he's the winner on merit, I think you'd have to say.
He certainly is, and like this time last year he was still a maiden over hurdles, and we saw him win his maiden down in Tremor on the 1st of January, and you know he's come a long way since, and he's an absolutely revelation over fences. But you see him, he just absolutely eats up the ground, and he's just such a natural chaser, isn't he? And I think here now, this is where Fakir Du Dairy lost the race. Danny Mullins was keeping Mark Walsh tight, and just be interesting here now, we see that Mark just loses his iron there.
They just brushed.
He got caught with Danny Mullins' stirrup and just lost his iron for a few strides. But just probably, Mark just probably around the home bend didn't get out as soon as he wanted, but he gets a big jump at the last, and you know, doesn't quite have the pickup as the winner Notebook, and you know, he's run out a good winner, and fair play to the Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore team.
Yes, here's pricked at the line. Notebook probably about a length and a half too good for Fakir Du Dairy. He probably would have been a bit closer, but for that incident Kate was talking about there. But I think you'd be hard pushed to say it made the difference between winning and losing. And of course, the other big story of the race, Kate, Lorena, you had fears for her back down in distance today, and how well founded those were, because she was struggling from an early stage, and her jumping just did not stand up to it, did it?
No, I think to me she wasn't comfortable from the get-go. They went a right good lick down to the first fence, and you know, she just got a bit high. Like, even though her jumping at Gorin was very good, but she was always just a little bit high, and I think when she steps up in trip, we'll see she'll be a little bit more out her comfort zone, and it was probably, it's only good to yielding the chase track here today, and you know, we always see her to better effect on a little bit softer ground.
Yes, the first fence down the back told a real story. She went through that nearly on all fours, but as we'd seen earlier on in the race, Paul Townend was just having to niggle away at her just to really stay in shouting distance of the market principles. Jingle was the one who ended up getting his way in front, as he likes to do, but he'd shot his bolt too from home, and the 3 that eventually dominate, Notebook, Fakir Du Dairy and Royal Rendezvous, who's outrun his odds here, go well clear. Lorena was pulled up in the end. But you just have to love the way this fella goes about the job, Kate. The second's a real likeable character too, and hasn't lost a whole lot in defeat here. But I've seen the emergence of a horse here who might not have had the high profile of a Lorena or a Fakir Duderi over hurdles, but always looked as though this game would bring out the best in him. And it's a red letter day for trainer and rider here. Another one for Gigginstown as well, who've plundered, I think, 3 or 4 already on the day. And he wasn't unbacked either at 7-1. Notebook, winner of the Graded-Treffer Novice Chase last time, beating his stablemate that day. Moon over Germany into second spot. And Henry de Bromhead coming here today, Kate, I guess he had a fair idea where he was going to find out where he stood with his 2 really promising young horses, Aspire Tower and Notebook. He couldn't have dreamed, I think, for it to go any better than it has, could he?
No, big race double for Henry. You know, Henry's team has been going absolutely great guns all season, having the definitely, I'd say, the best season, most purple patch of a season he's ever had, and his horses are in absolutely brilliant condition, and couldn't be better. Just see Notebook has a little nick on his front leg there, but nothing too bad, and the de Bromhead team will tend to that, but no, nothing too wrong with him. He's full of energy there, Gary, in the parade ring afterwards. I think he'll go around again.
Just a really likeable horse, isn't he, Notebook? And as you say, Kate, he was there when we kicked off back on New Year's Day at Tramore. What a card that turned out to be, with Albin Photo also amongst the winners there. And don't forget, live coverage from Tramore coming up in around about a week's time on New Year's Day.
And what a big race double for that partnership, Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore. They won the Grade 2 Juvenile with Aspire Town. Now they've taken the Grade 1 Racing Post Novice Chase with Notebook. That was a horse race, and he's a good horse. To carry that big frame at 2 mile speed, he's got bags of talent. I wouldn't be absolutely categoric that he beats Fakir Duderi again and again and again. Given the way that race panned out, Mark Walsh wasn't quite able to ride the perfect race. I think the run from the second last to the home turn, I think that's where the race was won and lost. I think Royal Rendezvous got the slot that Mark Walsh was looking for, and he was on the back foot, and then losing his iron on the run towards the last didn't help either. And I think those are the small margins in these championship style races. Those are the small margins that can make all the difference. So fascinating to see them renew rivalry further down the line, but a big day for Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore, and 4 on the afternoon for Gigginstown as well. 7-1 Notebook was well back throughout the day. Fakir Duderi 11-8 in second, beaten a length and a half. Down Royal, just to confirm, that 210 was won by